Good morning, you are watching NEWSi 24/7. Today's headlines are: FN Qureshi for providing unconditional humanitarian assistance to Afghan people. Foreign Minister NEWSi Qureshi on Wednesday emphasized the need for sustained engagement, renewal of developmental partnerships, and provision of unconditional humanitarian assistance to the Afghan people. He expressed these views during the meeting with Filippo Grandi, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNRWA, here on the sidelines of the 76th session of United Nations General Assembly. The foreign minister outlined Pakistan's efforts in supporting the humanitarian operations in Afghanistan, including by facilitating the evacuation and relocation of international staff, establishment of a humanitarian corridor for the delivery of relief goods, and in-kind assistance for their Afghan brethren through air and land routes. He underscored to High Commissioner Grandi the importance of peace and economic stability in Afghanistan, which requires sustained engagement of the international community, both in terms of political and financial support. While appreciating the support given by UNRWA for the welfare of more than 3 million Afghan refugees in Pakistan, the foreign minister emphasized the importance of adequate, predictable, regular and sustainable financial contribution from the international community. High Commissioner Grandi acknowledged Pakistan's efforts and agreed with the need for increasing support for the host communities on the principle of international burden and responsibility sharing. High Commissioner Grandi briefed the foreign minister on his recent visit to Kabul, Mazar Sharif and Islamabad, Pakistan, as well as the steps being taken by UNRWA to address the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan. Russian digital accounts attract United States $23 billion from overseas Pakistanis, PM told Prime Minister Imran Khan, was on Wednesday told that with a total of 204,000 Russian digital accounts (RADAs) opened by overseas Pakistanis, an amount of United States $23 billion has so far been deposited in RADAs. The Prime Minister was told this by Governor State Bank Rosa Bakaya, who called on him here and briefed him about economic revival as well as the digital and current accounts. He was further told that the number of digital accounts was increasing by around 1,000 per day. The Prime Minister said that increase in the number of Russian digital accounts reflected confidence of the overseas Pakistanis in the government's policies. Modi under fire as heroin worth $210 billion recovered from friends port. The pin drop silence of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in question after seizure of 3,000 kg of heroin worth $210 billion at the Mundra port in Gujarat, operated by his friend and financier Gautam Adani. In the biggest ever single drug haul in India, the heroin was shipped via 2 containers from Afghanistan to the port operated by the Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited, according to the Hindustan Times. Gautam Adani, who hails from the Modi's constituency Gujarat, owns nearly 1/4 of the cargo movement in the country and manages 13 domestic ports in 7 maritime states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Odisha. Also, the information regarding the 25% share of Narendra Modi in the port raised many eyebrows, with fingers pointed at him for promoting drug smuggling in the country. The topic dominated social media conversations as politicians, civil society and journalists targeted Adani Group and the Modi government over the confiscation of heroin from the Mundra port. The Congress attacked the centre, asking how such a drug syndicate was operating in India under the nose of the government as well as the Narcotics Control Bureau. Why is Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, who are from Gujarat, unable to break this drug syndicate? Congress spokesperson Pawan Khera said at a press conference. He said smuggling of drugs into India had increased substantially in the last few years. This will not only destroy the future of the youth of India, but it is the potential funding route for the terrorist organizations globally, he said. China, Russia, Pakistan call on world community to continue humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. Zhao Lijian, the special envoys of China, Russia and Pakistan on the Afghan issue who jointly visited Kabul had engagements with senior officials of Afghan interim government have called on world community to continue provision of humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said on Wednesday. The three countries and the Taliban authorities agreed to maintain constructive engagements to promote peace and prosperity in Afghanistan, and regional stability and development, he said during his regular briefing held here. He informed that during the visit, the special envoys also met with former Afghan President Hamid Karzai and former chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation Abdullah Abdullah to discuss peace and stability in Afghanistan. Zhao Lijian said that at the invitation of the Afghan Taliban, Special Envoy on Afghan Affairs of the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs NEWSi, Russian Special Presidential Representative for Afghanistan Zami Kabulov, Pakistani Prime Minister's Special Representative on Afghan Affairs Mohammad Sadiqi, visited Kabul on September 21 and 22. They met with the Acting Prime Minister Mohammad Hasan Akund, Acting Foreign Minister Ami Khan Muttaqi, Acting Finance Minister Haidatullah Badri and other senior officials, he added. The spokesperson said that the envoys held in-depth and constructive discussions on the recent developments in Afghanistan, especially on inclusiveness, human rights, economic and humanitarian issues, friendly relations between Afghanistan and other countries, especially neighboring countries, and the unity and territorial integrity of Afghanistan. They expressed support for the fight against terrorism and drug-related crimes. The Taliban side stressed that it attaches great importance to Afghanistan's relations with China, Russia and Pakistan, and the three countries are playing a constructive and responsible role in consolidating peace and stability in Afghanistan. Pakistan highly values its ties with Ireland. FN Foreign Minister Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi Wednesday said that Pakistan highly valued its relations with Ireland, bilaterally as well as in the context of the United Nations and the European Union. Foreign Minister met with Foreign Minister of Ireland Simon Coveney on the sidelines of the 76th UN General Assembly session. The two foreign ministers exchanged views on the latest developments in Afghanistan, bilateral relations, as well as cooperation in the UN. Foreign Minister Qureshi congratulated his Irish counterpart on the successful conduct of Ireland's presidency of the UN Security Council for the month of September. He expressed appreciation for Ireland's open and inclusive approach that was displayed in the invitation to Pakistan to address the UNS on the situation in Afghanistan earlier this month. Noting that the large Pakistani diaspora in Ireland was a strong bridge between the two countries, Qureshi highlighted the importance of regular engagement to boost bilateral ties between the two countries. He also pointed out the need to hold the next round of bilateral political consultations at the earliest. The foreign minister stressed that a peaceful and stable Afghanistan was of utmost importance for Pakistan and for peace in the region. He underscored that it was essential for the international community to stay engaged with positive messaging and constructive steps to avert humanitarian and economic crises in Afghanistan. The foreign minister also apprised his Irish counterpart regarding Pakistan's facilitation in the evacuation of over 14,000 people belonging to 30 different countries and international organizations. Both sides agreed to remain engaged on regional issues and to consult closely with regard to the UN Security Council's deliberations on Afghanistan. GSP Plus status for Pakistan to continue. The European Commission has decided to maintain the Generalized Preferential System +Plus status for Pakistan, with introduction of new 6 conventions for the low-income countries. The Commission, in a statement on Wednesday, said that it has introduced 6 new conventions related to providing facility to people with physical disability, tackling climate change, and child labor for the. Furthermore, it has also introduced new GSP rules in order to facilitate the low-income countries. The Commission which reviewed the status of several other countries along with Pakistan, said talks would continue with the EU-Pakistan Joint Commission. Today's review related to the EU regulation, establishing the EU's GSP framework, which expired at the end of 2023. The Commission in a statement said that it adopted the legislative proposal for the new EU's Generalized Scheme of Preferences (COMETS) for the period 2024 to 2034. The Commission is proposing to improve some of the key features of the scheme to better respond to the evolving needs and challenges of GSP countries, as well as reinforce the scheme's social, labor, environmental and climate dimension, it added. The GSP regulation is a unilateral trade tool that removes or reduces import duties from products coming into the EU from vulnerable low-income countries, supporting poverty eradication, sustainable development, and their participation in the global economy. The Commission's proposal makes the EU's GSP more focused on reducing poverty and increasing export opportunities for low-income countries. It aims to incentivize sustainable economic growth in low-income countries and offers new room for engagement on environmental and good governance issues. The new GSP framework strengthens the EU's possibilities to use trade preferences to create economic opportunities and to advance sustainable development. The modernized framework also expands the grounds for the withdrawal of EU GSP preferences. PM gives tips to cricket team, calls for team spirit. Aggressive posturing. Prime Minister Imran Khan Wednesday advised the national cricket team to inculcate a team spirit, adopt aggressive posturing and play with a sole passion to win. The Prime Minister, who had captained Pakistan's 1992 World Cup winning team, met the national cricket team here and gave tips to become a successful cricketer while sharing his success story. Special Assistant to PM Dr. Shahbaz Gill, Senator Faisal Javed and Chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board Ramiz Roger attended the meeting. The Prime Minister believed that the Ullah had defined truthfulness and honesty as the principles of success. One can change his fate through hard work and struggle, he added. The Prime Minister called for opting the course of earning respect, not money, advising the players to play for the team and the nation, which had their eyes on their performance. He said the whole nation wished their success, for being the representatives of Pakistan in the world. You have no dearth of talent as the whole world recognizes the talent of Pakistanis, he remarked. Referring to the Islamic history, the Prime Minister exemplified the defeat of a huge army by 313 Muslims in Battle of Bod, and conquering of huge empires like Rome and Persia just within 13 years. Urging the player to inculcate a team spirit, Imran Khan told the players to enter the playground with full confidence and a passion to win. The team playing to avert defeat can never win, he remarked. Recalling his cricketing career, he said they had steered the Pakistan cricket from decrepitude to win the World Cup. You have to play offensively. The team playing in defensive mode can never win. It was who had introduced attacking technique in cricket. Webinar held to discuss impact of Said Ali Jilani's demise on Kashmir Movement. Department of Pakistan Studies, the Islamia University of Bahawalpur Commonwealth, has organized a webinar on the posthumous impact of the great Hurriyat leader, Said Ali Gilani, on the Kashmir independence movement. The participants included IUB Vice-Chancellor Professor Dr. Athar Mohboob, Chairman of Peace and Culture Organization and leader of Kashmir Independence Movement Mashail Hassan Malik, Department of History Punjab University Lahore Chairman Professor Dr. Mohboob Hassan, Dean Faculty of Arts and Languages Professor Dr. Javed Hassan Chandio, Dean Faculty of Law and Chairman Department of Pakistan Studies Professor Dr. Aftab Hassan Gilani, Professors Afa Sindhu and Dr. Nadia Punjab University Lahore. In her address, Mashail Hassan Malik said that Kashmiris have become orphans with the death of Said Ali Gilani. Said Ali Gilani was a far-sighted and understanding leader who had sensed India's nefarious intentions decades ago, and pointed out that Kashmiris would be killed religiously, socially, culturally and economically. Even when India exchanged delegations 15 years ago in the name of giving peace a chance and trade was restored, Said Ali Gilani said with his political insight that India was just playing tricks. Later, the world saw that India had abolished Articles 370 and 35A. India is bewildered by the death of Said Ali Gilani. She also paid tributes to Kashmiri leaders Makbul Butt, Afzal Guru, Ashraf Sarai, Ayasin Malik, Shabi Shah and Azion Drobi on the occasion. She appreciated the organization of a webinar on Kashmir by the IUB and said that our teachers and researchers should do research on this subject. She extended special thanks to the IUB Vice-Chancellor for organizing the webinar. Dr. Mahbub Hassan, Department of History, Punjab University, said that Said Ali Gilani was a graduate of Punjab University. Thanks for watching NEWSi 24/7. For more news visit our website on www.newsi247.tv or follow us on Twitter.